bonjour classe. Aujourd'hui, on va commencer chapitre 8 au marché. On va parler de chapitre 8.1. Dans chapitre 8.1, on va parler de expressing need. Donc, on va commencer. We're going to start off with some of our vegetables. So up at the top, very top of your note sheet, you have some of your food groups: vegetables, fruits, dairy products, and then meats. And these are going to be up at the top of our slides as we go through them. So les légumes, vegetables. Now, as we go through our slides, I want to be very clear with you. The slideshow is not in the same order as your note sheet. My slides are divided by food group. So here we have all of our vegetables. However, your notes are divided by les noms masculins et les noms féminins. So masculine and feminine nouns. I do have our terms color-coded, as you'll see in just a moment, so that you can decipher which one is a masculine and which one is a feminine noun, but make sure that you're putting these in the right spots. D'accord, on va commencer. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Des petits pois. Une carotte. Un avocat. Un oignon. Un champignon. Du maïs. Notice how we pronounce this ending consonant. This is one of those very few exceptions. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Du maïs. And I know a lot of you have been asking for a review of accent marks, and I promise it's coming up very soon. However, if you remember these two little dots, that is an accent mark in French. It is the tréma. And if you remember, the tréma tells us to pronounce these two vowel sounds as separate. It's not mace, it's maïs. There's a difference between the A sound and the I sound. Maïs. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Du maïs. Excellent. Répétez-moi. Une pomme de terre. Des gombo, which I gave into your notes as some okra. Okra is kind of a root vegetable that is used in lots of soups. Répétez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Une salade, which I gave to you as a head of lettuce, but it can also just be a salad in general. Répétez-moi, des haricots verts. Répétez-moi. Again, no ending vowel sounds. Répétez-moi, des haricots verts. Excellent. D'accord, on va continuer avec les fruits. Les fruits. Répétez-moi, un citron, des raisins, un ananas. That's a fun one to say. Répétez-moi, un ananas. Excellent. Now, other than these three, all of our fruits are feminine nouns. So, go down to the bottom of your page, les noms féminins, and let's take some of those feminine nouns. Répétez-moi, une fraise. Do you remember une syrup de fraise? Désolé, un syrup de fraise à l'eau. We learned that as a strawberry syrup. So just a strawberry is une fraise. Répétez-moi, une poire. Une goyave. Une papaye. Une pomme. Which, if you know, une pomme is an apple. If we go back a slide, we have une pomme de terre, an earth apple, or an apple from the earth. How cute. Répétez-moi, une noix de coco. Again, still not pronouncing this ending consonant. Répétez-moi, une noix de coco. Une mangue. Une orange. Une banane. Une pêche. Une tomate. Excellent. Ensuite, we have les produits laitiers et les viandes. All right, so for our dairy products, we have du beurre. Répétez-moi, du beurre. Du fromage. If you remember, un sandwich au fromage. Répétez-moi, du fromage. Du lait. Du yaourt. This is a tricky one. Répétez-moi, du yaourt. Excellent. Moving on to les viandes. Répétez-moi, du porc. Du poulet. Du bœuf. Du poisson. Excellent. All right, and then we have some others that don't really fit into any sort of category. Répétez-moi, un œuf. And again, this is one of those exceptions. We are pronouncing this ending consonant, un œuf. You can always think of the joke. Why did the French person not eat lunch? Because one egg is enough for breakfast. Haha. One egg is enough, a play on the words enough in English, enough for breakfast. Such a stupid joke. All right, moving on. Répétez-moi, du riz. Du riz. Du pain. It's not pain. Répétez-moi, du pain. Du sucre. Un gâteau. De la farine. De la confiture. Une tarte. All right, that should be all of your vocab on your first page done. Moving on to the second page. Some of this might be a little out of order. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see as we go. So we're going to review de. This is second page, top of your notes. We've already learned a little bit about de, and we've said that it has a lot of different meanings. We're not going to get into all of them, and I'm not expecting you to, master all of them. It can mean a lot of different things. Another way that we use de is when using de in front of a noun, it can mean some. And we've already kind of seen this with when we learned un, une, and des. I said un and une are a or an, and I said des is some. D-E-S, des. So I eat some cheese. Je mange du fromage. And this is why some of our vocab, instead of having le, la, les, or un, or une, are having du, de la, so on and so forth. So I'm eating some cheese. However, it gets tricky because the word some in English is not required. However, in French, you have to have that word some, you have to have that de. It is required. You cannot drop it like we do in English. So in English, I can say, I eat some cheese, or I can say, I eat cheese. Both work, both make sense. In French, this is the only way to translate these two sentences down here. I eat cheese and I eat some cheese. We have to have that de or that du or that de la or that de or the de l'apostrophe in there. It has to be there. And again, remember that de has some contractions that we need to worry about. De le become du. Je mange du porc. I'm eating some pork. De la stays the same. Je voudrais de la confiture. I would like some jam. De l'apostrophe stays the same. Je prends de l'eau minérale, s'il vous plaît. I'll take some mineral water, please. And de lait become des. Je mange souvent des viandes. Ooh, that's a typo there. Zoot. Des viandes. Hello. Ah. Des viandes. I often eat some meat. All right, moving on. We have two expressions that we need to know. Both have two different ways to translate them. So for one way to translate what do you need and I need, qu'est-ce qu'il te faut, which we've already learned in chapter 2. Répétez-moi s'il vous plaît. Qu'est-ce qu'il te faut? I need a pencil. Répétez-moi. Il me faut. Again, we've already learned that one. We're adding a way to say both of these today. What do you need? A different way. Qu'est-ce que, répétez-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as besoin? All together, répétez-moi, qu'est-ce que tu as besoin? And then I need, répétez-moi, j'ai besoin de. And I put de here because this expression is always followed by de, de, or de apostrophe, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Think of this way down here as what do you have a need of? What do you have a need of? And I have a need of blank. That de there is saying of. I have a need of a pencil. Kind of a weird way to translate it, but it'll help you memorize that. So let's go through an example right now. Il me faut le livre. I need the book. Or j'ai besoin de livres. Again, we just talked about how some forms of de make contractions. This does not. It will always be de or de apostrophe. So let's talk about it. It can be followed by either a noun or a verb. When it's followed by a noun, we only have de or de apostrophe after avoir besoin de. I guess for a verb too. Yeah, we would have for both a noun and a verb. We only have de or de apostrophe after avoir besoin. There's no do, there's no de la, there's no de, there's no de apostrophe. So when you are learning this expression, you need to learn it like this. Not just avoir besoin, wrong way. You need to learn it as avoir besoin de, because it'll help you remember I need to have de or de apostrophe after that. For an example, j'ai besoin d'un livre. I need a book. On the previous slide, we saw I need the book, and we dropped the le entirely because we can't have it. Tu as besoin de tomates. Do you need tomatoes? Again, no des here, even though we're talking about more than one tomato. Always after avoir besoin de, it's either de or de apostrophe. Only two options. Nous avons besoin d'eau pour une omelette. All right, and lastly, so on your notes you have a little practice section, and you also have to fill in the avoir box. So go ahead and do that on your own. We'll talk about those practice answers, of course, in class. And then the very last page of your notes, on va revoir les adverbs of frequency. So remember that short adverbs go after the verb. For example, I like bananas a lot. J'aime beaucoup les bananes. J'aime beaucoup les bananes. I often go to the market. Je vais souvent au marché. Number 2, longer adverbs go at the very end of your sentence. For example, I go to the movies 1 time per week. Je vais au cinéma une fois par semaine. I sometimes eat guavas. Je mange des goyaves de temps en temps. And then lastly, our word d'habitude, which means usually. D'habitude always goes at the beginning. For example, I usually eat pork. D'habitude, je mange du porc. D'habitude, je mange du porc. And that is all that I have for you today. Au revoir, à bientôt.